Welcome, everybody. We just got done watching a video. So for those of you that are tuning in later, make sure that you watch the video that's going to be attached to this. It's just going to be a quick link to get you caught up so that you know what's going on. It was just going over how you fit things and how you go about structuring and prioritizing your life so that you're able to fit in what matters so that you're not stressing out over the small stuff. And tonight, since Curtis, you are available and you're here with us, we're going to be going over your perfect day, really creating a schedule for you and making sure that if it's not the schedule that you have already, it's something that you're working towards and you can see it in front of you and we know how it's going to fit in, because a lot of us, we just let days come by. We don't necessarily know where things are going to fit in. Maybe we already have a little bit of structure. Maybe we're just a very disciplined person. That's fine. But are there things that we are falling short on? Because I know for myself, even though I'm disciplined, if I don't have written up there on my own schedule, dinner with Rachel, and I see it in front of me, I will skip it. I will work past it. I will do it. And that's to say that, like I will let work overcome, which is lower on the totem pole, family, your fiance and your wife and your friend, I let that overcome. So you got to make sure that you know where your priorities are. And that's what we're going to go over tonight, just exactly how to do that. So that you know when there's an obligation, you can't move it, because we're going to go over, and I'm going to set this up so you guys can see it. There we go. But through the video, there's a couple metaphors in there. They used golf balls and, pebbles or whatever. We're going to use boulders. We're going to use boulders, big rocks, small rocks. We'll use sand. All right. The boulders in your life, we'll color code everything. What we're going to do tonight, I'll start off by saying we're going to create a schedule. So Curtis, what we're going to do tonight for you is we're going to create a schedule for you, and I will screenshot it. I will send it to you. And that way you have this so that you can copy and paste to your phone or put into Apple calendars or Google calendars, however you want to do that. Sound good?
Yep. Sounds good.
So I'll explain that a little bit. We have a couple colors here. I had to fit them on wherever I could. I wrote it a little bit too small, but purple, blue, green, and orange, the way I color code my system up there. And the way what those colors are going to stand for are going to be your boulders. Boulders are going to be the things like your family, your friends, things that you're not able to move. You're not able to move a boulder. No one can move a boulder. It's big. It's a big rock in your life. You can't move that. Next thing we're going to have is big rocks. This is your job, your car, your career, and everything. You can't necessarily move a big rock without a crane. You have to have equipment. You can't just displace this thing. This is going to cause disruption in your life. Small rocks are going to be things like watering the plants. It's going to be things like power washing the deck. Things like that you have to get done, but you can move small rocks. You're going to, pull a back muscle. You're going to be a little bit sore the next day, but you can move small rocks if you had to. Everything else is going to be sand. You can brush sand aside. You can get out of your life. It goes around the big rocks, but without setting these in order, you're not going to be able to have the sand fit, because if you fill up with sand first, you're not going to have time for the family, the friends, and everything else. So to build out your perfect day, you always have to just start with where you wake up at. What time do you wake up, Curtis?
So normally I wake up about 7.
Perfect. 7. So I've got over here on my board, starting at 5 a.m., going all the way to 6 p.m. All right. So typically, if you're doing anything past 6, we're going to have to reevaluate the schedule, because that should be family time. That should be time, you're spending with everything else. You got to fit everything else. So 7 p.m., we're going to wake up. So what's the first thing you do when you wake up?
Well, I plan to get to the point where I'm writing out, what is that called that you do in the morning?
The flow? Morning flow?
Yes. So I actually just watched the video the other day. But normally when I first wake up, I'll get up, have some water, of course, go through my regular routine, brush teeth, all of that good stuff, and then prepare to get the kids out the door.
Okay.
By 8.
How long does that take you then? From 7, about the whole hour?
We're normally out by like 7:45.
7:45?
Yep.
If you're going to do the flow, how long do you think that's going to take you initially?
probably 10, 15 minutes.
Okay, perfect. You think we got to wake up a little bit earlier if we're gonna do that?
Yeah, yep. Probably need to move that wake up to like 6:45.
Okay, so 6:45. There's a wake up time for you. Are you gonna go right into flow, or are you gonna get your normal routine done first?
Normal routine done first. Yep.
Okay, routine, and then flow. And then at 8 p.m., that's the kids. That's when you got to get them to
Yep.
practice, to
Yeah.
lifting, to whatever.
Yep.
Yep, cool. How long? What do you do during then? What's that look like then? So you get them
Uh,
there, and then
so what I've been doing is I'll drop them off, and they're there until 9:30. So normally I'll have a work meeting I got to hop on. But when I'm not doing work stuff, I'll normally just walk on the track because it's right there at their school.
cool. So you get your need in, you
Yep.
walk. Is there anything else you want to do at that time, or is that really you enjoy that time walking and just kind of
Yeah.
listening to
Yep.
podcasts? Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Is that for the full hour and a half, or
Well, it depends on if how long the
oh,
meetings take and all that
yeah,
stuff. So I kind
oh,
of just have that whole block for walking slash meetings and
yeah.
follow up on emails and that kind of stuff.
So walking, work, just
Yep.
kind of depends. Cool.
Yep.
Awesome. So what comes next? What's after you get the kids?
So get the kids back home, and then I'll normally head on out to the gym after that.
Okay. What time you get into the gym?
Normally around 10.
10? All right. When's breakfast?
Oh, yeah, I left that part out. So as part of like, my morning routine, I'll normally have either some protein waffles or a shake or yogurt with granola and all of that good stuff.
Okay. So you do have some food. So you have breakfast there. Perfect. What about snack? Do you have a morning snack?
Normally after I get back from the gym.
Cool. So that's going to be down here. So
Yep.
Jim, how long does that take you? I'm guessing an hour, hour and a half.
Yeah, especially with that new routine. It's like I have to actually cut some stuff out. It's like, man, I can't be in here all day. So
Yeah,
yeah,
Rachel.
probably a hour 15, hour 30 max.
Rachel's on phase 3 too, and she was complaining about that too. How long it takes.
A
She's like,
lot,
I'm
man.
not ready to go yet. I'm like, well, I am.
Yep, it's a lot.
So you get home, we'll count shower and everything into there.
Yep,
Um, Probably about 1 o'clock. You done?
yep.
Cool. So all this time, it's gonna be gym time for you. 1 o'clock. What happens at 1?
Then get home, normally lunch and a shake.
Lunch and shake. Okay. So like
Yep.
15 minutes there.
Yeah,
Cool. What happens at 1:30 then?
right back to work.
Work. All right.
Yep.
Is there now when it comes to your job, is there things that are so when it comes to my job, I have like continuing education. I have things that I need to just study up on. I have clients I need to reach out on. I have like for my daily business, I have social media I have to post to. I have, start 5 chats with client or, just 5 random people, just put out some goodwill into the world. So like kind of things that are daily to my job that I have to kind of
Hmm.
remind myself. And then I have some weekly tasks that, I got to send out my weekly email, got to have a newsletter and all that. Got to sit down on Sunday and plan things out. Is there anything like that when it comes to your job that needs to fit into your day that isn't right now?
Well, every day is a little different because it just depends on when meetings are and phone calls and when reports are doing stuff. But yeah, there are those things like computer based training, CBTs, things that I have to do from time to time.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, so your days might look something similar to mine back there, where you might have to have, and that's why I'm not using them right now. I'm just writing because it's a whiteboard,
Yep.
but that's why we use the color coding because usually I'll write it down right on this. I can stick it up. So if this is my small rock and walking is a small rock that can move because if you had work come up, that's a big rock. But you can put walking there, but that's a big rock. So if work came up, you can immediately move that down and put your walk. You're like, oh shoot, I need to put my walk. Well, I have time after my snack to actually go on a walk. And what I'll do with these is I'll fold the paper to make it shorter, to just denote that we're at 15-minute blocks or half-hour blocks. So
Okay.
or tear it, however you need to do. And I've even gone over and I've just cut off the sticky strip to show that I'm going to take like 15 minutes to do a post or be on my social media or do, whatever it is. But that way you can move things around. That's why I like having the poster board. You can put it right into your Google Calendar when we're done with this, but that's why the poster board's nice, because then I can go up there each week, each day, move that around, be like, this isn't working for this time. I'm going to move this here. I'm going to do that. I'm a visual person. I'm a very tactile person. It's works. And I think everybody else is too, even those that say they're not. It works very well if you have that kind of system. So, so awesome. So we got work, we got something like that coming up. How long does that take you up to? How long are we working?
Normally up to like 4.
Till 4?
Yep. So 2 to 4 is work related items.
Cool. So let's see. We've got about an hour and a half to about 3 hours or 2.5 hours here. So it's putting you about 4 hours, 5 hours a day then, almost.
Yep.
Cool. And then what are you doing at 4? Is that a hard stop?
Not always, because it is when you're working from home. Sometimes there's other stuff that you normally wind up having to do, but normally after 4, is time with the kids.
Okay, and that's
around the time my wife will be coming home. So if I'm up to bat for making dinner that night, then I'll go ahead and get that started, because normally somebody will have a practice at 6 or something. So.
And that's why I'm putting it in front of you, because when you don't have that hard stop, you just said you got the kids, you got the wife, you got to take them to practice. Those are all boulders. Those don't move.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That's your family. That's the kids. Those do not move.
Yep.
Those big rocks, it's work. It's going to take some effort, but you got to have that shut off time. You got to have a buffer zone. Maybe it's to 4:15, but you got to make sure that you're tying things up, because you got to make sure you have that important time. So I'm going to hold you to that a little bit too. So we'll give a little bit of buffer time, but what's going to happen at 4:15 then? So the kids get home, wife gets home, you're making dinner and everything. Is that something special you want to do? Is it just kind of like, hey, we're going to hang out? Or is it, hey,
it's normally like just kind of hangout time. How was your day? All that good stuff. Who's got homework? Let's pull up. Ever since COVID or whatever, we normally will pull up their grades and assignments and stuff and kind of go through that, make sure they're staying on track. So it's more so family time after that.
Man, it is hell to be a kid after COVID, isn't it?
Well, one good thing that came out of it now, like, you can kind of see what's going on in real time. That's something I like, because before, you're like, oh, you got homework? No, I don't have anything.
Yeah.
And you find out during their progress report, like, dude, you've been slacking, man. Now I got to get with your teacher. And
that's how we grew up.
Well, that's how we grew up. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, oh, how you been? Like, oh, everything's good.
That's funny, but awesome. So that takes you up to 6 o'clock. So that's family time. I'm just gonna put a big F here. Family time. You gotta take them to practice, usually, you said, or something.
Yep.
Awesome. Is anything happening after 6?
No.
No.
So after 6, of course, they have their practices or whatever. And depending on what day it is, sometimes I'll have a band rehearsal.
Okay.
Or whatnot. So yeah.
All right. Now, when we look at this, is this the day you want? Do we need to fit something in here that's not? Is there Curtis time in here? Is there time to, write your memoir, to write poetry, to whatever? We've got flow working in here. That will fill your cup up a little bit.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you've got some band practice at night. But is there anything else, a hobby that you have put off? Mine was fishing. Mine was, all my stuff's over there. I had to get all the equipment up. Another one I want to fit in and I need to work in is going to the range more. I need to actually go to the range and stop, just, yeah, making the excuse, I need to go. So is there things like that that, there's some time here, we've got some time that we can fill in afterwards, if we're tighter about, we move it. This
Yeah,
is where
move
it gets
stuff
to moving
around.
things around.
Yeah.
So this is a very kind of rudimentary kind of schedule. Just kind of get you going and gets everybody else an idea of how to start to form your perfect schedule and perfect day.
Yeah.
But yeah, I said range and you kind of lit up a little bit. Sounds like that's something that
Yeah,
you
because I've
find
been
its way.
paying for a membership for the longest time, and it's been a while since me and my wife have gone. So we're like, oh, we need to get on out there.
And you're paying. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's
Ranges aren't
been
cheap.
nah, it's probably been a couple weeks since we've been. So yeah,
Yeah.
we're due to get on back out there. But I think, Alec, the biggest thing about kind of taking a look at the schedule and everything for me, what I realize is like, man, you once I get it on paper and can commit to it, then that brings it to fruition and helps things really happen. Because otherwise, it's like, oh, I need to do this, but until you build it into your schedule, so that's why this is great. Until you actually put it on paper and be purposeful about getting that XYZ, whatever that thing is done, it probably won't happen.
Yeah. And probably won't and definitely won't for me. Um, this has been the biggest game changer personally when I had this taught to me, simply because it definitively shows you there's 24 hours in a day, and even shorter than that because we're not including those hours you're sleeping. I mean, I have them written up there from 12 to 12 because I'm just a type A person that had to write all the numbers. But you know, there's only 24 hours in a day, and we say there's so much time in our lives, but how much time is there really for the things that we want to get done?
Yeah,
So that's what it taught me, because I was always saying, no, I have time to post on social media. I'm going to do my post tomorrow. I'll do this then. Am I? Because I don't really have time, because I like my client's going to take up my time then. I got to do my check-in
yeah,
then. I have to get on this call then. And wow, that 3 hour block is that I was going to post on social media or type out my emails. It's not there.
yeah,
So I figured out kind of a system now. Now I have to do some work on the weekends. I got to wake up a little bit earlier on some days, do some work at night. Um, the group call, obviously, I block that in my schedule. That's a boulder that doesn't move on Wednesday nights for me. So I'm trying to figure out where I can shove another boulder in for another group call, because once it's there, I don't want to move it around. So that's the tough part, is once you have a schedule and you want to add bigger things to your life, like another call that helps everybody, maybe on Sundays is what I'm thinking. But something like that, like a planning session, something where you plan out the week, I don't want to move that around. So I got to be able to commit to Sundays. And right now I'm busy on Sundays. So I got to figure out how I can actually make that work for everybody else too. Because I can't just do it on my time. Noon on Sundays, that's when people are getting out of church. That's when people are, doing their Sunday errands. You're not going to jump on a call. I get it. And I don't expect you to. So I got to make it appeasable for everybody else. And no one wants to get up at 7 a.m. on a Sunday either. So, but yeah, so I'm glad this was helpful. I thank you for that feedback, Curtis. Was this helpful for you, Candace and Regina? Anybody that else was listening?
Yes.
Awesome. Good. Curtis, I'm going to screenshot this or send you a picture of it just so you have it on your phone, and you can play around with it. You can play on paper. Something that I'm going to end the recording here in just a second, but something that might be helpful for everybody if they're trying to play around with a schedule, like online on a computer, and you're not going to do the paper thing. You're going to want to buy poster board. Fine. Lucid Spark, or the Lucid app, is an app that you can get that allows you to draw idea boards and arrows and everything. So you can kind of create a schedule. You can create whatever. You can create like a timeline or a time block like this. So just in that app that was recently shared with me, that might be helpful here. So I have no affiliation. If it doesn't work with you, I'm sorry, but figured I'd just throw it out there in case it does. So let me end this recording real quick. At the meeting.